I'd like to call the February 6th, 2025 Utility Advisory Commission meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have 3 members, so we have a quorum. So we'll move on. We'll go to the consent agenda. All matters listed within the consent agenda have been distributed by each member for study. These items are considered to be routine and will be enacted upon by one motion with no separate discussion. If a separate discussion is desired on an item, that item may be removed from the consent agenda and placed on the regular agenda. Does anyone want to remove an item from the consent agenda?
No.
All right. So we're not going to remove an item. So I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll motion to approve.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Plon, second by Wohler. Sorry, I apologize. Wohler. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Oh, gosh. That was not the right thing. All right. Now we are. Oh, I apologize. I skipped the public comment. I didn't see it on here. Anyone from the public wish to make a comment? No. Okay, great. Thank you. Going to move on to old business. Item 1, consider a recommendation to the City Council to approve a power purchase agreement, PPA, extension between KMEA and Grand River Dam Authority, the GRDA.
Good evening, Commissioners. So this item was presented during the last meeting, and it was tabled, so we have it again. As I was explaining to Commissioner Plon, the intent of my presentation was to make the commissioners aware that there are cheaper ways of getting power. In a, I would say, steady state type of utility, it will be, in my opinion, that will be the way to go. Over the past 60 days, there have been developers inquiring about loads that go from 5 to 30, 80 megawatts. So there's a lot of development in the industrial aspect that may be coming to Gardner. If that is the case, we probably need to get more capacity. But from the economic points of view, going with a different type of, going to the purchasing power from the grid, because of what I showed, shows that is cheaper than going with a PPA. The only guarantee of the PPA that the price will remain fairly consistent, and they will deliver the power on a reliable manner.
Plus, we'll get that extra capacity. Right?
Correct, you get the extra capacity.
And that's where I was actually on a school board meeting where they were talking about building in the next couple of, 5 to 10 years, they're going to be building a new elementary school them planning for the new elementary school border redesign on where Planning Commission has plans for new neighborhoods around Gardner. And when they were talking about all the stuff that they are planning to build and where, the biggest thing to me that hit is that extra capacity. I mean, yes, we can get the power cheaper, but that extra capacity tank, that's one thing I love about Gardner is we do have the more reliable power than some of our neighborhoods, or some of our neighbor cities. That extra capacity, if something happens, I don't want to lose that. And when I heard about, a whole new elementary school, all these neighborhoods that are planned to be built within the next 10 to 15 years, it's like, and this is a 20-year contract, right?
25.
25 year. So that extra capacity, I know I was really on the bubble on do we want to spend the extra $7 million for the power. But then when I was at that meeting for the school board, hearing about all the neighborhoods, the new elementary school, stuff like that, it's like it's the extra capacity and the extra tank for power that it's like we will need that in 10 years.
Or maybe sooner.
Anything else? So then, trying to remember.
Because it was
Find
like
it on
if we
here.
bought it on the open market when we need it, we could save $5 million a year.
Right.
But with this, we're going to spend a little more for the electricity, but we'll have that extra 10 megawatts or gigawatts of capacity.
With the GRDA, you will continue with the 9 megawatts.
Just 9 megawatts of capacity, extra capacity. I thought it was 10. Okay.
With your, a month ago, right, I'm trying to look through here, but the recommendation, did it change from what the previous agreement was with GRDA?
So GRDA wants to renew the same demand, energy, cost, and extend it for 25 years.
Any chance we could get extra capacity with the same cost?
Already asked the question and they're not sure
They're not sure.
at this point.
Okay.
Now, if some cities decide not to get their current capacity, there might be some left.
I'm just wondering.
As of now, they need to see what is the total demand for the different cities. And if it's back to the original amount, then there's nothing left. If cities decide to have less capacity, there may be some surplus.
Now, are we able to do any, if we just throwing this out, if we do end up with surplus, are we able to do anything with that, like sell it back or to someone else or do anything with it, or? Do we just,
So once you have the capacity, you can always sell it back to another city so that's a good thing of having extra capacity, you can always sell it. You won't be able to sell it at $10.50.
wouldn't be able to sell it.
But
for
right now, the
a lot
rate
of-
is 2.25, but they expect that to go up within the next couple of years to maybe 6.5.
So we could technically, if we end up not needing as much for that year, we could maybe get something for it instead of.
Correct. Like right now, the city is selling close to 4 megawatts to other municipalities within KMEA.
All right, yeah, because the previous contract was 9 megawatts, and so we're recommending 4.5. And we both talked about the potential growth that Gardner is looking at in the coming years. What, in terms of numbers, Gons,
Would 4.5 be enough,
right? Or,
in your opinion?
So the idea to go with the 4.5, we have extra capacity Yeah, I don't know if you remember the, can you go
I'm
to
trying to
the,
find the thing from last month also.
can you go to the OneDrive?
Like some of those first pages have some information.
It's all on the front stuff. Because I remember there were two options, one of 4.5 and I thought one of 9 or something like that that you were talking
So what I did was 4.5, option 1, then option 2 was 9 megawatts. And then Marshall expires in 2027, no, 2026. So I added the 2.5 from Marshall to extend our capacity.
So, I guess with what's known on, through the planning commission and what's projected for Gardner's growth, what is your recommendation? Would 4.5 be enough, or do you think we would need?
From the, like I said, from the, can we, I believe that we can get, we will have to get additional, perhaps, paper capacity at 650, and then go to the market to buy the energy.
With it, yeah, it was like 10, 15 years, we would, at 4.5, we would be a little short, and we'd have to go.
Now, in order to be safe, we can all go with the 9, and then they'll give us a little more capacity for the future.
Especially.
And then the
20.
price will be already set at, 30 megawatts
No, yeah.
per kilowatt hour?
But as a 25-year contract, the speed at which the town is growing, and they've already got plans for, and they're already talking about a new high school within the next 15
Yeah, I heard that the new high school is
Yeah, they're talking
in the
about
works.
high school within 15 years. So,
Is that working?
The 5 mil difference, that was between the 9. right?
no, the 5 mil is not doing anything. If we just bought our power on the open market, we would save 5 million, but we would save 5 million, but we wouldn't have the extra tank of energy in the bank if something happened.
Okay.
And that's where it's like after I was at that meeting and they were talking about a high school in 15 years, they're gonna build a new elementary school in the next 3 years. And all the the building going out next to the current high school. There's plans on the east side of I-35 and stuff. We need the extra tank. I honestly think we need the extra tank, we need that extra capacity.
So are you agreeing with the staff recommendation, or you're thinking 9? That you're gonna?
Since it's such a long contract and the plans, I would, my vote would be probably just looking long term. My vote would be 9, but if they think they can get away with 4.5 for 25 years, okay. But I would rather have the electricity and not have to worry about losing power.
Well, and I think when we looked at the slides, right, we went out so far, and then to your point, we run out, and we have to buy on the open market to
Mhm.
supplement. But wasn't that the case with both the 4.5 and the 9 on your model?
The 9 will push you all the way to 10 years roughly, if I remember right, not having the,
Right, yeah, no, I know you feel.
There was one that bought us a little more time.
Yeah.
I would assume that was the
I don't know
9,
if
but
that was
it
the
still
9,
runs out.
Or if that was the one that had
Potentially.
re-up with Marshall. And
so you have 9 with 9 with GRDI starting 2026. Then in 2028, Marshall, the contract expires, and then if we renew it, you have an additional 2.5. which is what we have right now.
And that's fine, but I was, you know, I guess I would, at this point, I'm okay with voting going forward, wanting to get as much reliable electricity for the city as possible, especially with the growth the city is projecting and the plans that are gonna be built. And then you were saying that companies are coming, you know, warehouses are being built around here, you know, all sorts of warehouses on 175th. If they're gonna try and tie in, we got businesses coming. We need as much power as we can, and as reliable as we can. So, I mean, I would motion to approve this, for whatever amount that the city council thinks we need, because we need the power.
So you're saying your motion would be to go with a 9?
My motion would be to recommend the 9.
Okay, because you said 4.5.
Yeah, my motion would be to recommend the 9, just because if it was a shorter contract, I could see doing a smaller amount in small times, but since this is 25 years and see what the city has planned for the next just 10 to 15 years, this has to last through that. And I would rather have more, and since he said we could sell it back to some people if we have excess for a year or something, I'd rather have more and sell it back than to have brownouts or electricity issues in our city because we just don't have the power.
All right, so. Okay, so we need somebody to make an official motion.
I motion to approve for the 9 megawatts deal with
GRDA.
For a term of 25 years. Okay, it's on the thing, so.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Gons, do you know, because the recommendation here is 4.5, he's saying 9.
Yeah, I mean, that's
I didn't
the
know.
commission can go and do a different motion.
Is just doing the motion like that
Correct.
sufficient enough? Okay. Okay. All right, so we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Approved. All right. Moving on to new business. Where did my sheet go? There it is. Consider a recommendation to the city council to replace 2 specialty trucks.
So when I joined Gardner in 2015, most of the specialty trucks were leased. And there was a justification on why it was better. Since I've been here, we leased for how many trucks? We did it 2 renewals. In 2022, we dived deeper into the actual lease agreements. And the original lease agreement, they will say that the salvage value, and I think Commissioner Augustine may remember, they were saying the salvage value of the truck was $10,000. So if you do the economics, yeah, at the end of 5-7 years, the truck is worth basically nothing. So we went ahead and look again at the different options between lease and purchase. And we had a truck that was purchased back from Altec, that the price should be $10,000. They sold it to us for $60,000. So after paying for 5 years, I think it's Parks and Rec or Public Works bought the bucket truck, but not at $10,000, but at $60-something $100,000. So the resale value of a leased or purchased truck after 5 years is a lot higher than 10,000. So for the past 2 contracts, we have purchased the trucks, and this will be the last lease truck or leases that we're recommending purchasing the trucks. So the only bid we received was from Altec for the articulating telescopic aerial truck. Is $324,333 for 84-month warranty. For the distribution digger derrick truck is $337,458, again for 7 years. The next table shows the total price if we lease the trucks for 7 years, and comparing the lease versus the actual purchase, you will see that buying the truck is a lot cheaper. So I'm making a recommendation to buy the 2 specialty trucks instead of leasing them.
I do remember those conversations from a couple of years ago. And it's good to see everything this way. I remember those concerns, everything, so I like that. Anyone else? Questions, comments? Take a motion?
I'll motion to approve the purchase of the bucket truck and digger truck.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
And there's a picture on the slide that you can see the 2 different type of vehicles.
Sorry, what?
There's a picture on the slide on the
Uh,
presentation. Oh, you cannot see it.
Oh, I can see part of it in the bottom corner. The
But you go back
videos.
to the original, the first page there.
Ah, there we go. Those look fun. I hope the crew enjoys them. All right, new business item number 2. Consider a recommendation to the city council to authorize the city administrator to execute a contract with Midwestern Equipment LLC for a 2019 forklift.
Okay, so we currently have a forklift that is battery operated. For the past several years, it's been out of service or working on a degraded mode. So we would like to replace it with a used forklift, which is gas or diesel driven.
Propane?
Propane, yes. So we received 3 quotes, one from Crown Lift Trucks, RDS Equipment, Midwestern Equipment, and reviewing the proposals, we would like to recommend the Hyster H90 FT at a cost, including tax, $43,790.
So we got an old battery operated forklift. Time to replace it.
The propane ones are so much better. I've done propane and battery forklifts. I hate propane or battery forklifts.
No, I agree. My question is a 2019 versus a 2025, I would assume, on the middle quote.
The middle quote just has a 24.
I think all of them are used.
Well,
They're not new.
what?
They're not new. They're not new.
None of them are new?
No.
Okay,
Yeah, it says the submitted quote for the 2025 forklift.
right.
So I figured that would be the year of the forklift.
it's saying in 2019.
Yeah, it says 2019.
So
on
obviously
and
that one was
2025 on it.
used, but I didn't know if the other one above it was, brand new.
I think for the 2025 replacement forklift. That's what it's supposed to say.
Okay,
Because
so,
I know you cannot get a forklift for the cheap.
okay, so
Or like
all of
couple
these
$100.
all of these are used
Yes,
models.
yes.
Okay, so then the only difference really is
The price and
the price, whether or not capacities are close, but I assume.
Are they
They're
all
gonna
three
be
the same?
comparable.
I'm assuming they're counterlift forklifts and all have the same lift capacity?
They are.
So, okay. Other questions? I'll take a motion.
I'll motion to purchase the Midwestern Equipment forklift for $43,790.
I'll second.
I've got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right, moving on to discussion items.
We have the January 2025 electric reliability report. For January, the SIDI Watt 5, KIDI 46, ASI 99.98, MAFI 0, the SIFI 0.118, customer effective 1185, interruptions per mile, we have 150.8 miles, 7.86. The year to date is the same as to the January. Just to reiterate that in 2024, we met our targets, except for the SAFI our target was less than 0.7, and we got 0.709.
Almost.
Almost, yeah.
Just.
Questions?
No, I'm good.
Okay,
Next one.
project updates. The substation 1 transformer 2 upgrade, we awarded the purchase to KOC. There was an issue with KOC not being a US-based company. So there was a concern from finance that if we need to put a claim on warranty and the companies in Korea, how do you actually get it done? KOC was purchased by another Korean company, LD Electric. So they have a company in the US. They're going to register in Kansas to do business, and they'll be the company that will warranty KOC transformer. So they're the parent company. So hopefully they'll be resolved within the next 20 days. Substation for construction, we're doing the procurement. Today we purchased a transformer, circuit breaker. We're evaluating the control room enclosure and the switchgear. Hopefully they'll be going for approval within a month.
And that's the one for Clare Road, right?
Correct. The construction is expected to begin fall of 2025, and this will be coordinated with Evergy. The new motor control center for the gas turbines was commissioned in December 2024, so that's complete. The 41 overhead power line rebuild, we're still working on it. The pad mount switch cabinet, that's by Walgreens and Quick Trip, that was implemented in July 31st, 2024. And we are configuring in the SCADA, so that's partially complete. The 183rd Street interconnection with Water 7, that's on hold. We have the design done, but there was an issue with Water 7, so that's on hold right now.
Is that the one tying us into Johnson County?
Yeah. The 183rd Tower rehab, the RFP will be moving forward in 2025, which is this year. Water transmission line preliminary design, that will be advertised March 2025. New intake structure, Burns and Mac has started the environmental process and design of the intake. Clear well improvements, that will be put together by midsummer. Wynwood Park relief sewer, I guess if you've driven by 167 or in Madison.
Is that what's going on in Greenway? I was gonna ask about what the status.
So the idea is, in order to move collect the wastewater from the southeast part of town, instead of breaking streets and roads, we decided to send it through the Wynwood Park, and that will connect with the north lift station. So that will increase the capacity of the collection system.
So when is that expected to be done? Because I live in that
Before
area.
summer.
Huh?
Before summer,
Before summer it should be done. 'Cause
weather permitting,
A lot
of
of
course.
people are like, really, like, they can't, they jog and walk that trail, it's like it's all shut down there. It's been a while, so. Okay.
That's part of growing.
Yeah, well, no, I understand, I have a lot of people ask about it and stuff, it's like, we'll find out next month.
The Cedar Niles lift station, that's the lift station that will collect the the southeast part of, south of I-35. So we put in the lift station by 191st. There'll be a gravity main from the Strong property into the lift station, and then it'll pump to the south lift station. So that's ongoing. The Keel Creek Water Resource Recovery Facility, Phase 2 expansion, that's ongoing. They actually finished digging to the recommended level, and right now they're working on the rebar. Again, we're getting a lot of rebar for the concrete work. Line maintenance building that started. We're trying, the contractor looking for the freezing point to see how much below grade they need to go. Hopefully they'll be done in a few more weeks. The weather has not cooperated. I&I program. In 2024, a sanitary sewer manhole camera was purchased and has been used to inspect 223 manholes in 4 different sanitary sewer basins. As part of the I&I program, approximately 20 miles of line has been CCTV inspected in 2024. Staff is reviewing data and putting together multiple projects types to be advertised in 2025. We also, there's some manholes that have been corroded by H2S. So we're designing a project to take care of these problems. And also will help with the I&I program. And that's all I have as far as projects. Any comments?
Gons, is there any part of our infrastructure, electric, water supply, or sewer, that we do not have a, we'll say regularly scheduled inspection process for anything, or I don't wanna necessarily call it a maintenance, but it seemed to me like a year ago or more, we were talking about
The
your.
sewage was like, there are certain parts of the sewer in downtown that were like super old and you were looking at getting
Or
a
maybe-
replacement.
I think that those that were water mains.
Yes.
Water mains.
So
Maybe that's
in,
what I'm thinking of.
correct, so in 20, we have in the O&M budget, we have certain work that will be done in 2025.
Okay.
And we should look at 2 years, so there's something already planned for 2026. I don't have the details, but there's something else.
Okay.
Yeah, I do remember, yeah.
Okay.
I do remember
And the idea is to
some of the water
replace-
mains were getting
correct.
old and looking needing to be replaced.
And some of them are transite that has asbestos, so we replaced some of that last year.
Okay. Like to see us be on top of those things. Awesome.
Okay,
So, all right. Nothing else. So thank you for your time up here on the board. Wanna just get that on there before we close out. So, all right. If there's nothing else, then I will take a motion to adjourn.
I'll motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All right. Got a motion and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Meeting over.
thank you.